Okay, let's do the mod list thing. Now, I'm not going to talk about every single mod individually, one by one, because if I did, it would take forever, and frankly, some mods just don't really need explanations. Like, I don't need to explain a reload animation fix to you, it should be pretty obvious. But I am going to pick out some highlights here. Mods that are underlined are absolutely essential, and you will regret not having them, and mods that are italicized are just mods that I think are really nice. Of course, I approve of all of the mods that I use in this list, it's why I use them, but, you know, the mods that I italicize will be generally good for basically everyone, I think. I mean, they're generally just good mods. What I do not recommend is copying my entire mod list wholesale and just trying that out, because you'll find that New Vegas modding is a delicate process that requires lots of tweaking and fixing to get right, and even though I've compiled essentially a mod list of things that are compatible, it doesn't mean that they'll work very nicely with each other in a perfect way. It takes time, and you have to work on things. There's lots of patches that are being left out of this list. I've tried to include the ones that I have in my load order, but a lot of patches get merged back into the base file. It's a complicated thing, is basically what I'm trying to say. So mod at your own risk. Don't ask me how to fix the game, because I probably can't even help you. And yeah, here we go. First, we have the Foundation, and if you've modded New Vegas before, you probably recognize all of these names right here. Nothing's really new here, except maybe XNVSE, which is sort of a new version of NVSE. Those of you who have not modded New Vegas before are probably looking at this and going, hey, wait a minute, Pixar's 2012 film Brave? Why are all of these mods underlined? That's because they're all important. They're all very important. If you skip any of these, God will strike you down. So don't skip any of these. These are all a big deal. Consider this the bedrock with which you can build more New Vegas mods on, and a lot of mods do use these. Most of this is pretty vanilla stuff built on the backbone of the user interface organizer. There's nothing too crazy in here aside maybe from the enhanced item info and better pause menu screen. Enhanced item info adds a little box on the side of your UI that tells you what recipes you can use items for, and it also tells you the same stuff for weapons and armor. The better pause menu screen just removes the orange tint from the pause menu and it makes it look like this. So that's pretty cool. Also, there's an FOV slider here, because this game doesn't have an FOV slider. Next, we've got some miscellaneous fixes and patches, including the one tweak mod for FNV, which makes the game less of a bitch to run in full screen. Also, unofficial patch NVSE Plus, which I actually haven't installed yet because I'm still running the old version of unofficial patch Plus, and now they're merged into an NVSE version. Just use this one. Also, the inactive Windows scroll fix, so that way you don't start scrolling through your Discord history while you're trying to get up to the 357 ammo in your inventory. We've also got a couple of cheeky recent additions here at the bottom. We've got no more fake fleeing, which fixes the NPCs running away from you for seemingly no reason due to combat AI. And you may recognize the maker of this mod, Trash Garbage, also known as the legend who made the New Vegas Randomizer mod. Quality mods. And another one of my grievances has been addressed by Pistol Payback. He's made a walking inertia mod, which adds walking inertia. If you remember the part of my New Vegas Petty Grievances video where I was talking about movement speed and walking, this basically addresses most of my concerns there. It's a fully configurable speed curve which you can make exponential or linear, and it adjusts your speed as you start moving. It's pretty cool. Here's the settings that I've been using, but you can basically configure it however you want. First and absolutely number one on this section is the Stewie Owl's Tweaks INI. This mod is absolutely legendary if you haven't used it before. It's essentially a giant list of tweaks and adjustments you can make to the gameplay of the game that will shake up the game in various different ways, or just generally improve the experience, honestly. And when I say giant list, I mean giant list. There is a lot of options here, and it is absolutely worth your time to go through basically all of them to look at it. It's insane how much this mod can do. Next, we've got J Sawyer Ultimate Edition. If you've been around the block in New Vegas modding, you probably already know about this mod. There's nothing really new to say about it, but it adds just a lot of very minor gameplay changes that were kind of intended to be in the game at some point or another. Just generally nice stuff, I think. Convenient fast travel markers are convenient fast travel markers, although there appears to be, I think there's a bug in the fort outside of Caesar's tent, where if you walk outside of Caesar's tent, you get your stuff taken away even though you're already in the fort, which can be a problem when you're like killing everyone in the fort. Just watch out for that. Next, we've got just assorted mods, and you might be thinking, assorted mods? What kind of mods are we talking about here? Oh, you know, just crosshairs, hit markers, hit indicators, objective indicators, holding your breath while scoped, sprint, bullet time, a weapon hot wheel, and the Fallout 4 loot menu. You know, just basic stuff. All configurable, all customizable. And lastly here we have the Marathoner mod, which just simply increases your movement speed while you're not in combat. Now we can get into some more advanced stuff, like the Ragdolls mod, which adds configurable ragdolling for bodies, because every game is better with configurable ragdolling for bodies. We've also got the New Vegas randomizer, which I'm sure most of you watching this are probably familiar with at this point, and the follower formula redone. Now you might wonder how the follower formula redone redoes the follower formula, but I can tell you that exactly. Essentially, it's just your charisma divided by 2 rounded down, and that's your max followers. It's actually kind of genius, and it makes charisma do something. I don't know why it doesn't work like this in the base game. It seems so obvious in hindsight, but here it is. I wasn't anticipating actually needing to make a sound category here, but apparently I have a few mods that fuck with sound, so here we are. The two most noteworthy I would put in here are the Project Reality Footsteps FNV, which add nicer footstep sounds, and Immersive Pickup Sounds patched, which has some nice, very vanilla-friendly pickup sounds. I would be remiss to not talk about Brave New World here because it's a massive mod and it does a lot of new voice acting for a lot of characters that just use those generic voice actors that you hear everywhere. But it's kind of a mixed bag sometimes. There's some really good voice acting in here, and there's some like kind of bad recordings here and there and some bad acting. It's, you know, you could try it out. I like it generally, but it's not for everyone probably. Okay, lighting and camera is probably the category that I'm least satisfied with here, mostly because I'm not using ENB because my PC hates me when I do. But if you have like a decent PC and you can run ENB and still get like a good frame rate, by all means do, and probably ignore this section for the most part. But I can't, so I kind of have to just work around it. My main two culprits for this are interior lighting overhaul and RWL redesigned. They do the job pretty serviceably, and RWL redesign has a lot of options as well, but I'm still not like that satisfied by it, and if I could use ENB, I would. Although that said, most of the ENB presets you'll find on the Nexus are straight garbage, like 95% of them, so it's gonna take some configuration either way. Now we've got a bunch of just little texture mods, and the main texture mod that I use, which is the Ojo Bueno texture pack, it's a pretty good general texture pack. There's a few things that I don't love in it, and honestly I wouldn't blame you for not using it and picking something like NMC instead, but Ojo Bueno is just kind of what I've settled on. Some nice little highlights in here include the Book of Water mod here that adds a lot of nice power armor textures. There's the Legion and Ranger overhauls done by PM, and the Textures Over Time mod, which has a bunch of random little world textures that are very, very nice and high res. And now we've got all the weapon textures and stuff. Most of this category is pretty standard stuff, and I honestly haven't dove too far into like custom weapons or anything like that. My main shout out here is probably going to go to Redone Scope Reticles, which gets the award for being the only scope mod on the New Vegas Nexus that doesn't make my eyes bleed, so shout out. Eve, as I've mentioned previously, is a mixed bag, although I think all of these gun mods are generally pretty good together as I've used them. The Weapon Mesh Improvement mod with the ESP Replacer and Weapon Retexture Project, all done pretty nicely, and FNV Clean Animations isn't bad either. It's just, you know, not really for everybody maybe. Of all the optional things in this video, I would say the LOD section is probably the most optional. It all starts with FNV LOD Gen, which is the program used to generate LOD. It's kind of an arduous process for not a whole lot of gain, but I'm just listing this here for posterity's sake, I guess. It's probably not even worth your time, really. Okay, a few more disclaimers before I go. This video is not the load order that I use. This is all very neatly categorized and sorted and, you know, highlighted and organized. And my load order is not that. My load order is a fucking mess. And it's just because this is just something that I've been building up over time with no real plan or anything. I might clean up my load order one day, but that day is not today. Are there any conflicts with this mod list? Abso-fucking-lutely yes there are. Mostly just with Eve. Eve is like the primary culprit there. There's like the laser RCW, which was changed in Eve and has a weird conflict with some other mod that I have that also changes the world texture for the laser RCW. Also, there's a little bug I had once on the stream where I could not start Dead Money. Like, I just couldn't start the DLC. I went into the bunker, walked in, and the cinematic just didn't play properly. I hope that was a one-time thing, although what am I really missing out? Not being able to play Dead Money, I mean. And on another note, everything on this video, and even in my mod list that I keep in the description that I update, everything here will become outdated at some point. In fact, some of the stuff in this video is already outdated. I know for a fact. For example, the movement inertia mod actually added like a couple of new features while I was making this video, so that's, you know, just keep in mind the age of this video when you watch it, and the mod list that I keep in the pastebin link that I've previously mentioned is going to always be up to date to what I use, but how often I use it determines how up to date it will be, so.